The rain tapped softly on the broken roof of a tiny garage, like the world itself was whispering, "This place doesn't matter." Inside, oil-stained hands worked carefully, patiently, as if every bolt and wire held a promise. Across the street, a sleek black car stopped, its engine purring with quiet power. When the woman stepped out, her heels clicked with confidence, the kind that comes from owning everything she could see. She took one look at the garage, and laughed. If you've ever felt underestimated, overlooked, or dismissed, this story is for you. Before we begin, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share your thoughts in the comments below. Welcome to Echoes of Stories, where simple moments reveal powerful truths. The man inside the garage didn't look up immediately. His focus stayed on the engine in front of him, his hands steady despite the sound of mocking laughter outside. His name was Daniel Mercer, a single father who had built this place with nothing but grit and quiet determination. The sign above the garage read, "Mercer Auto and Electric Repair." It was small, worn, and easy to ignore. But to Daniel, it was everything. The woman walking toward him was Claire Whitmore, CEO of Whitmore Industries, a giant manufacturing company known across the country. Her clothes were perfect, her smile sharp, and her confidence unshakable. She stepped into the garage carefully, as if afraid the dust might stain her reputation. "So this is it," she said, glancing around. "This tiny place is your business?" Daniel finally looked up, wiping his hands on a cloth. "Yes, ma'am. How can I help you?" Claire smirked. "You can't. My car needs specialized work. I doubt you even have the tools for it." Daniel nodded calmly. "You'd be surprised what I can do." Her laughter echoed again, louder this time. The workers nearby shifted uncomfortably. Even Daniel's young daughter, Lily, standing quietly with her stuffed toy, looked down at the ground. Claire leaned closer, her voice colder now. "People like you should know your limits. Stay in your lane. Big jobs are for serious businesses." For a moment, silence filled the garage. Everyone expected Daniel to react, to defend himself, to argue, to show anger. But he didn't. Instead, he simply said, "Kindness costs nothing. You might want to try it someday." Claire rolled her eyes, turned around, and walked out, her heels clicking like a final insult. The black car drove away, leaving behind the faint smell of rain and something heavier, humiliation. That night, Daniel sat with Lily at their small dinner table. She looked up at him with innocent eyes. "Why was that lady so mean, Dad?" Daniel paused, then smiled gently. "Sometimes people forget that being kind matters more than being powerful." "Will she ever learn?" Lily asked. "Maybe," Daniel said softly. "Or maybe life will teach her." Days turned into weeks. Daniel kept working, fixing cars, helping customers, and treating everyone with respect, no matter how small the job or how little the pay. Word began to spread. People trusted him. They liked him. They came back. Meanwhile, Whitmore Industries faced trouble. A major contract fell through. Machines began to fail. Costs rose. Workers complained about poor treatment. Claire, once confident and untouchable, found herself drowning in problems she couldn't fix with money alone. One evening, during a critical breakdown at her factory, her team panicked. Engineers couldn't solve the issue. Production stopped. Millions were at risk. "Find someone," Claire snapped. "Anyone who can fix this." One of her employees hesitated. "There's a mechanic. Small garage. People say he's good. Really good." Claire frowned. "Name?" "Daniel Mercer." The room fell silent. Claire clenched her jaw. "Fine. Call him." The next morning, Daniel walked into the massive factory. It was the complete opposite of his garage, huge, polished, intimidating. Workers whispered as he passed, unsure of the man in simple clothes who didn't seem to belong. Claire stood waiting, her expression unreadable. "You came," she said. Daniel nodded. "You asked for help." She looked at him carefully. "After what I said. I didn't think you would." Daniel's voice was calm. "You need help. That's all that matters." For the first time, Claire didn't have a response. Daniel got to work. Hours passed as he studied the machines, listening, testing, adjusting. His hands moved with quiet confidence. He didn't rush. He didn't complain. He simply worked. By evening, the machines roared back to life. The factory was saved. Relief flooded the room. Workers cheered. Claire stood frozen, watching the man she had once mocked solve a problem her entire team couldn't. "How much do I owe you?" she asked finally. Daniel looked at her, then shook his head. "Nothing." Claire blinked. "Nothing?" "Just remember," he said gently, "kindness matters." And he walked away. That moment changed everything. Claire couldn't forget his words. She couldn't ignore the way he had helped her, without pride, without revenge, without asking for anything in return. For the first time in years, she felt something unfamiliar. Humility. Over the next few weeks, she began to change. She treated her workers better. She listened more. She spoke less. And slowly, her company began to recover, not just financially, but emotionally. Then, one day, she made a decision. She visited Daniel's garage again, but this time, there was no laughter. "I want to make you an offer," she said. Daniel looked up, curious. "I'm stepping down," Claire admitted. "And I want someone who understands people, not just profit, to take over the company." Daniel frowned. "Why me?" Claire smiled softly. "Because you fixed more than my machines. You reminded me what leadership really means." 90 days after she laughed at his tiny garage, Daniel Mercer became the owner of Whitmore Industries. But he didn't leave his past behind. He kept the garage open. He treated every worker with respect. He made sure no one felt small, unheard, or unimportant. And every decision he made carried the same quiet belief. Kindness is strength. Years later, people would tell the story, not about power or money, but about a man who chose kindness when he had every reason not to. Because in the end, it wasn't the factory that mattered. It was the heart behind it. So if you ever feel overlooked, if someone laughs at your dreams, remember this. Kindness has a way of rewriting stories. And sometimes, the smallest places hold the biggest futures. Keep going. Keep believing. And most importantly, be kind.